going on, guys? My name is Mo, and this here is a 2001 International 3800 school bus. But I'm going to convert this into an RV, and I plan on making some YouTube videos along the way. So, be that if it's doing some kingpins or some maintenance along the road or what have you, I'm going to try to include what I can into these videos and go ahead and bring you guys along for the ride if you're interested in watching. I just picked this bus up this week. I drove it 300 kilometers to my house with no issues. Seems to run good. Bus is in relatively good shape. The exterior is pretty good. Got the Dayton style wheels on this unit. Not really a fan, to be honest, because it makes upsizing the tires a little bit more difficult. Something I haven't looked into yet, and I do have to figure out if I can upsize them a little bit, because this thing runs about 2,300 RPM at 90 kilometers an hour, and that's just not great when you're trying to put the miles down. So hopefully change that out. Relatively good condition. Some surface rust here and there. Not too bad. The school bus logos have been removed or otherwise not visible, as well as the old stop sign and then the front crossing arms gone. I think that's for legal reasons, but outside of the bus, relatively decent shape. Putting in a new tie rod, got that on order, as well as the drag length there. Might as well start fresh since we're pretty well rebuilding the front end on this thing, as well as a new shock and the kingpin set. Brakes are still pretty good on this thing. The sliders, they were all lubed up and not seized, and everything was pretty good in that sense. So this high pressure oil pump reservoir here, I need to change the sensor out on it because I'm not getting a reading inside the cab for oil pressure. I originally thought this was the oil pressure sensor, but it's not. I can't remember the name of that one. It's like the ICP, injection control pressure sensor, I believe, that one. And this is the oil pressure sensor, so this one very well may need to be changed as well. We'll find that out here once I'm able to start on it. And this sensor for the brakes, we're just going to pretend that we didn't see that, because it's not setting off an alarm. Window wipers, they're shot. The rubbers on them are shot. You don't need to worry about that. Found that out on the way home. And front Dayton's rims, decent condition, not much for rust. That's fine. That was another thing I had to fix, was the lockolator here. She was all loose. Just tightened it up. Still need to put a bit of Loctite on that nut behind there, but we'll, forget about it. I've got the kingpins on both sides are already removed. The right side was really horrible. And one thing I could suggest, if you're thinking of doing kingpins yourself, have a mechanic to consult when you have questions. The left side came out not too bad in one piece, and it was relatively easy to get out. But the right side, I spent 2 days and finally said, well, cut my losses, and I torched it. So I cut it out of there. Luckily, on the bottom section, there's a thrust bearing that goes here, so I blew that out with the oxyacetylene torch, and that gave me enough room to pull the hub up, so I'd have room on the top. And then I cut the top part of the kingpin. The hub fell off. Yeah, I punched the top and the bottom out, and then to get this center section, which was left in the axle, to get that out of there was a royal pain in the butt. I had to weld a bolt on the top of this and hit it with a 20-pound sledge as far as I could get it, and then the bolt broke off, so now I was stuck with this like halfway down, and I put a socket in there. I was hitting the socket and then the socket came out and hit my shock, which punctured it and leaked all the oil out. So that's great. But, you know, you kind of learn things as you go. Sockets are not good to be hammering on anyways, and it was an impact socket, but I still, chips of the socket came off of there, and, you know, flying debris. Yeah, so I know a lot of people try to do these YouTube videos and whatnot, and some people are really good at doing it, and I'm brand new to making videos, so hopefully I'll learn how to do this better so that I'm not making an ass out of myself. And the videos are straight to the point and easy for you guys to watch. So come along for the ride, and I'll be posting updates as I fix things on. All right, so you're gonna see that this is part of my learning how to edit videos. The last part of that clip got cut off there, so this is gonna jump right into my kingpin installation. Right on, so I'm back at it here today. I've already started to clean up the axle, just get rid of any burrs and whatnot, and I'm gonna hone out the center just a little bit to make sure that it's clean. And I've also gone ahead and cleaned up the hubs on both sides. Just want to kind of really make sure everything's nice and clean and ready to accept the new kingpins. Alright, so after doing that little bit of a hone there, I'm just going to spray this with brake clean. Go ahead and clean out any of that material that the brake cone got out of there. Give her a, you know, quick little spritz.
Do the same on the other side. On the left side. Sorry guys if there's a bit of wind noise, I don't have a proper microphone for the phone yet.
So the next step is going to be trying to put the new bushings into the hub. Okay, so I'm ready to put the bushing into the bore. I'm going to put a little bit of anti-seize in there. Not 100% sure if you should or not. I mean, I kind of want to, just so that I don't have to fight next time taking these out. And I'm honestly just going to massage it onto the metal slightly with my gloves on. And it's really going to be an extremely thin layer, because you know, this thing has got such a tight tolerance here. So that's right flush. You can kind of see that, you know, it's sunk below. It's not flush, it is sunk below the lip a little bit. And there was a spec on the instruction sheet that showed 0.13 inches. So according to my instructions here, it should be center of the bore millimeters. So this is the center of the bore, and I did roughly 3 millimeters. So now the seal, the small ring seal, is going to go in there. This little seal here. So this rolled edge fits right in there nicely. I got the other one in there, relatively problem-free. Tap that in there. She's countersunk just a wee bit. All there is to it. Next, like I'm pretty sure, where the hub can be put back on. It required a lot of work to get that out of there, so I am gonna some of this never sees in here, and maybe that'll either help me in the future or the next guy if and when this needs to be done again. I'm gonna see if this thing is bound up, or if it's happy, or if it knows it. I don't know. Well, in one door, out the other. Seems to be alright. What happens? Maybe I mess it right up. Maybe it goes just fine. And hey, you know what? If I do mess it up, well, that's how you learn. You obviously wouldn't want to have it the wrong way around, because the lower one and the upper one, so we'll try and line this up the best we can. Oh, really? That is. Good luck trying to line that. Alright, so I got her in there finally. Had to use a floor jack to help me out since I'm running the Lone Wolf 2000 kit. It is a struggle. Let me tell you, if I could give you any more advice, it would be do not leave the wheel and brake rotor on there, or brake drum, whatever you're rocking. Just unnecessary. Oh, that's great. Lifting the whole bus, pin not going in. That's fine. Shouldn't have my fingers in there. There we go. Shims are in. I just gotta get that dang kingpin in there. Well, if there isn't any binding, that's nice. Okay, so now I'm just looking at the holes here to see where my keyways are gonna line up. Looks like they're pretty darn close. One with threads and a nut, and the other one is just a pin. So the one with the threads and the nut, I don't think it matters which way these go. I'm just going until that feels good and tight, which that's about it there. So now the other one is just a press fit, there's no bolt. Got to line up the half moon there, I guess you could call it, with the kingpin and drive her on home. Last person that was in here obviously punched some of the metal to keep this from backing out. But I'm gonna give that a little punch around here, similar to what they did, and then we'll jump to the putting the end caps on. Well, these are the old caps, pretty dirty. In the kit comes a new grease fitting and O-ring, so you just gotta clean up the old caps and bolts. I got it cleaned up, new grease fitting in there. Put a bit of never sees around the outside. Then a new O-ring comes in the kit. Goes on the inside just like that. Good to go. Alright, so here we are. We got the upper and lower caps on there. And gave her some grease. While I greased it, I was turning it from side to side. Just let everything kind of work its way in there and whatnot. And that's pretty well this side done for Well, as far as the kingpins go, I still gotta fill the hub back up with oil and put the brakes on and everything. And left side's pretty much the same as the right. I just put the bushings in there, lubed them up, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to fandangle it onto there. Well, we're on the left side here. Got one of these locking grease tips. Makes this job a lot easier. Don't have one, get one. So I'm just gonna kind of apply grease and turn it at the same time. Now obviously I did use lots of anti-seize, so we'll push all that out of there and kind of purge this a little bit. But man, is that ever smooth. And that's all it took. It's purged out of there now. We'll do the same with the bottom. That's where you really want to make sure this thrust bearing is in correctly, because if you don't have the thrust bearing in correctly, it won't allow the grease to go in there properly. So I thought maybe I messed up here, because the grease is coming out here instead of up on the top side here. But I'm looking at the the instructions that came with the kingpin set, and it says the external seal goes to the bottom in the bore, like facing the spindle, and the internal seal's on the top, which is exactly the way that is. I would have thought the grease would pass through the bearing, pack the bearing, and then come out the top, but I guess that's not how it goes. Or maybe it does pack the bearing and just comes back out the bottom where there's no resistance. Yeah, maybe that's the way. But anyways, I think according to the instructions and the way that things are, I guess it's supposed to be the way that way is. So that just didn't make any sense. Cut that out of there, Mose. All right, so seems to be good, and that's she's free play in there, eh? This thing is just, I got so much lube, like all the anti-seize and grease and everything, it's just, wow. Alright, so carry on with the greasing. I'm just gonna... Seems like enough. So the next step is going to be, I have a new drag link for it and tie rod, so we'll go ahead and put those in. Nut and a cotter pin is just, everything's so rusted on this bus. You know, it's 2022 and this bus was built in '01. So I've gone ahead and put some grease into these and, you know, moved the ball all the way around quite a bit on both ends. I just like to do it to get the grease moving around before it stays in the relatively same position most of the time. I mean, the range of movement's always going to be the same, so just to get that grease to the extra points by moving it all around. I'm going to put some never seize on both ends and then drive it in there.
Put never seize into the bores. Just to kind of help with, just because that's probably the way it should be.
Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I got a new tie rod as well, and I measured from the center of the grease nipple to the center of the grease nipple over there, and it's 177.5 centimeters. So I'm just gonna duplicate that on the new tie rod, slam it in there, and that's by no means in alignment, but it will get me close enough to get it down the road to the shop and they can do a proper alignment on it. So that's the plan. Okay, so I've gone ahead and measured everything out. I'm just gonna clean up these brake sliders. They just need to be cleaning the old grease off and put new grease on, that's all. Good to go. Alright, so I got all the pins and everything back in there. Brakes are on, hubs are filled up, drag link, tie rod's all on there. Kingpins are in, greased, everything's greased. I'm gonna call that a wrap on this video for now. I'm about to start doing the shocks, but I'm gonna make that into a separate video. I gotta do the shocks and then I gotta do an oil pressure sensor. That'll be same day for me, but separate video, just so that this doesn't drag on too long. I've already changed my dunnage positioning and dropped the axle down. And yeah, that'll be on the next video. So thank you guys for watching, and hopefully something of this video helped you. And I'm gonna try to keep making more videos in the future of myself working on the bus or traveling with the bus and some of the places we're gonna be going, or maybe some, you know, yard work or something like that, who knows. But just gonna try out the whole putting content onto YouTube thing. Goodbye for now, and we'll see you on the next one.